Hello everyone, welcome to our Rapid Fusion HCM training session. So we are discussing about the absence management topics, and one of the important topics that we come across in the absence management is eligibility profile. This eligibility profile concept doesn't only comes under absence management, but also in other areas like compensation, benefits, talent management, checklist, and so on. So this eligibility profile is mainly to determine which all workers are eligible to get enrolled in the absence plan. So this is about the absence plan. Similarly, the profiles can be created to identify the set of eligible members or the workers who can be associated work for certain compensation plan, benefits plan, and so on. So and the two options that we are seeing here under eligibility profile is participation and dependent. Participation profile type. So this is mainly for the workers. So we create this participation profile type to determine the eligibility of the workers in the organization. Whereas dependent profile type is mainly to identify the eligibility among the dependent of the workers who are added into our system. So we add some dependents who aren't workers. So we also add them into our system because they are also part of certain benefits. So based on these dependents, workers get some benefits. So hence, when you add your own profile into a system, or when you add some profile into a system, you also add their family members or guardians into a system. So they are called as dependents. So these dependent profile type is mainly under benefits. So we see participation for all other areas in HCM, but dependent is for benefits. So if I have logged in as an HCM system, so this is application, I will show you how this profile type, two types that we were seeing would come under. So this is the compensation. If I see under compensation, we have the eligibility profiles. So this is the one. Similar to that, if I scroll down, under talent management, we see eligibility profile. If I click on this, so if you see the option, we only see a create participant profile. So this is how we would be looking at for benefits. If I have to show you the under benefits, we see eligibility profile. For create participant profile and also a create dependent profile. So this is where we see a dependent profile. So it's under benefits area. If I click on dependent profile type, the options that you are seeing, the sections. So it is different from what we are seeing. So this options or the sections which are helpful for us to define the eligibility of the workers is only for the participant type, whereas for dependent type we would be seeing the other options. So let's stick to our topic where we are defining the eligibility profile for the absence management. Okay, so you can also see under absence work area on the eligibility profile. So if you just scroll completely towards down, you see a eligibility section. There we have derived factors and also eligibility profile. So in today's topic, we are also going to cover about the derived factors. So what derived factor is? Derived factor is also one of the section that we see under participant profile type to define the criteria of the eligibility profile. So if I click on this eligibility profile, I say, see the options, the only option is create participant profile. And we see 5 different sections. Personal, which are person-specific information, employment, which are employment-specific information, derived factors. In this derived factors, we see 6 factors. So These six factors are what we were seeing in the system, that is age, length of service, compensation level, FTE, hours worked, age of length of service. So all of these options which we have to define before and then we have to attach it. So age, all of this isn't constant. So it keeps varying with the time. So that is why this is not something that we can attach directly. We have to define this. Um, on from current date, if I look for age, it would be different from what I look for age and tomorrow's date. So it looks for as of which date we provide as one of the condition while we define the derived factors here. So age is like to determine if the requirement is to have certain age bracket. So in only that age bracket, I want this. I want to fetch those workers. In that case, we define the age condition. Length of service is the amount of experience the person has in an organization. In the organization where we are defining, based on that, if I have to define the criteria, I'll make use of this length of service. If it is based on the compensation level of the workers, then I define the compensation level. If it is FTE, on today's date, what is the FTE? If it is more than 0.5 based on this current assignment or sum of all assignment, primary assignment or sum of all assignments, based on that, if I'm gauging the eligibility, then I make use of the FTE. Hours worked based on number of hours the employee work or the workers work in particular time. If it is based on that, then I make use of hours worked. If it is a combination of age and length of service, age and length of service can be like associated separately when you create separately and associate separately in a single eligibility profile, or it can be combined to make it as made it as one and then it can also be associated. So let's see what derived factors. So like I was saying, this derived factors is mainly when I have to when it's varying with time. That is why we have to define this separately and then associate with the eligibility profile. So under absence task area, under eligibility section, this is also one of the parameters to define the eligibility of the workers. Hence, it comes under comes and set under eligibility sections. On this, let's create the age based on age. So if the eligibility employees, let's create employees aged between 20 and 40. So if it has to be based on this, then I can make age to use as persons, not anyone's age that I'm looking for. It's a worker's age itself, so we'll select that. The unit of measure is based on the years because I'm selecting based on the years. So there isn't any calculation formula that is required. So I'll just keep that as it is. And then age is 20. It is greater than or equal to 20. So it should be more than 20 for me now as per what I'm defining. And it should be less than 41 years. Okay. So here determination rule can be based on any of the item, but I'm going to select it as of event date. That is as of the event occurs. I want the system to look for the age of the worker. So I'll just click save and close. So that's about the age. And if I come to length of service, so length of service, I want employee worker, employee length of service is greater than 6 months. I want 6 months. Okay. So let's select. So if any employee who is who has completed 6 months in the service in the organization, I want only to fetch those employees. So in that case, I'm going to say 6. So unit of measure selected as months, and hence it works as it looks for only months. And then there isn't any less than length of service. So I'm going to keep this as blank. Period start date rule. In the HCM system, we have these many factors to determine the start date rule. So adjusted service date is based on this benefits date that we have defined, and the system date of hire is based on the hire date of the current assignment. So a difference between original hire date and date of hire is original hire date is let's say an employee who has joined the system and left after some years and then rejoined, rehired. In that case, date of hire would be a rehire date, and original hire date would be the date on which he first started working on this organization. So if I want the start date rule to be based on any of the other criteria apart from this, then I can choose define that in the first formula and then associates. If I select formula, I would get a chance to associate a fast formula. And seniority date is also is based on what is defined in the system. So it's based on the customer's requirement. We define the seniority date, and if customer is looking for the start date rule based on the seniority date, we can define that. So as of now, I'll select it as date of hire. And this again is as of event date. That is as of event date. I want the system to look for the length of service, to calculate the length of service of the worker and then fetch based accordingly. So I'll say save and close. Similar to that, agent service, like I was saying, you will have to define the age and length of service separately, and then you can combine and make it as one. Okay, that can be done. Again, for compensation, it's you could the fields that we would be seeing is almost similar to what we saw for agent length of service. We get to select the range of values, we define it, we can select the here unit of measure is about the currencies. So we can select for unit, for India, I can select as a rupee. Okay, Indian rupee, yeah, Indian rupee. Or for United States, I can select dollars. United States dollar, US dollar. So based on the currency, I am defining for which legislation I can select that. So you can say stated compensation, and then say if it is annual salary based on monthly salary, bi-weekly salary, you can provide the minimum, maximum. As of the event determination rule, also you can select the date on which you want to determine this rule, and then click on save and close. So hours worked is also similar to it. We can select the minimum and maximum hours worked, and then based on which we can select the uh, fetch the employees. FTE, this is also the same thing, but under assignment to use, you get a chance to select if it is sum of all based on sum of all assignment or just the primary assignment, and then define what is the minimum FTE and then maximum FTE. So that is about the derived factors. Now let's go back to the eligibility profile. Now that we have defined the eligibility profile, let's create one. No, now that we have defined derived factors, let's make use of that derived factors and add some other traditional condition under personal and employment section, and then create one eligibility profile. So one sample eligibility profile that we are going to create now is about the female employees. Let's look for female employees. Let's make use of probably, okay, that's already there, created. So now let's create a full-time who are active employees, but male employees. Let's look for male employees for this time, whose length of service is more than 6 months. Okay, so the profile type, it's gonna get defaulted in the participant because that was the one which we selected while we created this eligibility profile. Profile usage, so it's based on what usage we like. Now I'm using it for absence. So I get to choose benefits, because absence is also one of the benefit that organization provides to workers. Along with benefits, we have other options as well. So based on that, we can select the profile usage. Assignment to use. So this assignment to use, you see a two different thing. That is, uh, before hyphen, you see all the related details about the assignment. Is it about any assignment that I'm looking about the worker, or is it to exclude inactive assignment, or is it only for benefit non-worker assignment, or is it only for employees that I'm looking for, or is it just primary employment assignment? Based on that, what is the requirement? Based on that, we can choose this combination. What we see after hyphen, that is benefit relationship, enterprise, legal employer, this is about the organization. So are we restricting it for based on the legal employer, or is it for whole enterprises, or is it for benefit relationship? So we can select based on that. So this assignment and organization, we see all the combinations. The specific assignment, if my requirement is only for specific assignment, I can define it like that also. So now if I'm going to select it as any enterprise, any assignment and enterprise, and keep this open for all the workers. So I'll keep it active. And then on the personal area, so I'm looking for the male employees. So if it is male employees, I'll just select it as male, or I'll have to give a sequence. I can select the other rows as well. Or I could do, I'll just exclude female and include every. So I'm going to exclude, if I just check this checkbox, this is going to exclude all employees, all workers who are, so it's who all are females. Apart from that, I mean, who are marked as female, apart from that, it is going to fetch everyone else. So since I'm going to fetch only the employees under person type, I'll have to say employee. Okay, so that's about the home location. If I have, I can attach that as well, like if it is specific to any location. So I'll not need this. Delete it. So similar to that, all the person-specific information, if any of my requirement is to restrict based on this person-specific information, I can select under personal criteria. So let's go to employment now. Under assignment status, I need active payroll eligible. So I'm gonna select it as people who are active payroll eligible. And hourly or salaried assignment category, it should be full time. It's create based on full time. Okay, so I'm going to select the full time, and if any of the employment related informations that I have, that is based on grade, based on if I have any specific grade, job, position, payroll item, then I can select that as well. To legal entity, business unit, work location, range of scheduled workers, hours, so job family. So based on all of this, if I have any specific requirement, I can select that. So now my length of service is also there. I'll also select the derived factors we have created. That is, age should be 20 to 40. Length of service needs to be so it should be greater than 6 months. So if there's any other length of service I can do that. And if I have requirement along with this, if I have any other specific requirement, I can create cost formula and then I can attach that here. So if I just click on save and close, it gets saved. So this is the eligibility profile that we could create. So eligibility profile that I created is about full time. So this is the one. If I don't really need this profile, I can inactivate or I can delete it as well. So this was about the eligibility profile. If you have any questions on this or any other items in the HCM system, you can drop your comments. We will come back with another topic in absence management in the next session. Until then, see you. Bye bye.